Go! Hey, welcome to the Toolshed, where every job gets a little bit easier, is brought to you by Schedule Engine. Today's episode, Eddie, is Don't Be a Crazy Farmer, and it's sponsored by our good friends at Emerson. Hey, yesterday we delivered a bunch of information for you, and that's a great episode if you're a service manager to go back and show that in a service meeting, break that down, unwrap it, have a great service meeting over episode 10, which is tying it all together.
You probably have a bunch of episodes out of that.
Speaking of a crazy farmer.
What? How are you, man? So you know what that's about? If we saw a farmer one day go out in the field, plant a seed, and then the very next day he's over there with a pair of scissors waiting for that thing to harvest it, we think that was pretty bonkers.
Crazy farmer.
And yeah, I'm going to make a case today, Your Honor, that we kind of do that on calls sometimes. Not everybody, but sometimes. And so we're gonna get into that. But first, it's Wednesday. For those not on call this weekend, happy Hump Day. And it means a couple of things. We're going to talk about a poll. We've got some winners, or we get some more giveaways. So fun. So today, let's do this. Because I'm curious, you ever been on a call and like maybe it's after hours and the office is closed and you don't know, people are like, well, it's in warranty, you just moved here and you got no idea. There's all kinds of tools, apps, websites to make the job easier. And I want to know at the Toolshed, what app do you like? So for instance, Emerson, our good friends, they have the Copeland app, and you can go in, you can put the serial number of every compressor, and it'll tell you if it's under warranty, and that's like gold, being able to go up in the office, upstairs and say yes, no, whatever, and move forward, as opposed to like, well, hey, we'll call you back, and you just put issues to bed. So for me, like, that's gold. But what else is out there?
Well, part of that's just facts.
Oh my gosh.
Right? So we talk about discovering facts. And when you say, hey, I'm going to go out to my van and I'm going to check to see if this part's under warranty or not under warranty, you can come back in and say, hey, these are the facts. It is under warranty, congratulations. Yep. Or it's not under warranty, and how would you like to move forward?
And customers, like, we're living in that digital age, and they kind of expect information in a flash. So I'm just curious. We'll probably start a thread in the Facebook group, so make sure you're joining that. Invite your friends. Speaking of Facebook groups, Gerald, Coach Jerry, we had a winner yesterday.
We did have a winner. Congratulations to Steve Bateman. Hey, you're the big winner yesterday, and we're going to give away some cool stuff today. What is it today, Eddie?
Well, today, often imitated, never repeated, the one, the only, Rigid. It's the big one. It's the Rigid tubing cutter. We're going to give this away. We have it in our hands. Yesterday, I went to the post office, got a bunch of boxes. Stuff is hitting the mail today. So if you've been told you're getting something, it's coming. Toolshed hat, we'll throw some of those in.
Yeah.
So we're going to give this away. Here's what we're asking today. Why don't we make it fun? Why don't we bring some friends to the party? Go ahead and in the group, just tag a buddy, tag someone in the trades. And by the way, in the Toolshed, we've got roofers. We're getting pool and spa people. It's not just your HVC electrical and stuff like that. So tag a buddy, and then we'll pick someone today. They'll get that. We'll get that in the mail. And we got something special cooking for tomorrow as far as giveaways. So that should be fun.
We've got some call center people watching.
Oh, yeah, we do. We do.
Yeah.
It takes a village, man.
It does.
It takes a village. Guess what?
We're going to change hats.
Eddie got a new hat.
Eddie did get a new hat.
Let's look at that one, because this one's cool.
Cover up this bald head.
There you go. Put me in there, Coach. All right, so this is from our friends at Alliance Heating and Air. This is from my buddy Kane. So Alliance Heating and Air, it has been in business for 42 years. Kane and his buddy have worked there the last 26. They're driving the bus, but you know why we're in the hat today? It's Michael Cruto. Every company has a cat like Michael. What we heard is, like, last year through all the COVID ups and downs and everything like that, you know we're going to talk about that person on the team that can be counted on. That's our boy Michael. Through hip surgeries, shoulder surgeries, everything. He's just one of those reliable people. And so I think they're actually watching. Let's give him the Jerry
Way to go,
wave.
Michael.
We'll give him the Jerry wave. There you go.
Be that guy.
To our friends at Lines, thanks for tuning in, and we're glad you're here. Awesome.
I'll keep the hat.
You keep that hat.
Thanks, Kane.
You suit hats. I don't. I got a head made for, I don't know, a tea kettle or something.
Hey, let's talk about crazy farmers.
Let's do it.
Hey, do you want to practice, or you want to get into it a
Yeah,
little
well,
bit
here
first?
let's unpack it a little bit. So this idea is really to deal with the issue. You and I have been doing this a long time. We've worked with people that are doing it a long time, and there's just some people that are like, yeah, this stuff never works. I did the system, and I shared solutions, and I just get shown the door, so I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Sometimes why that happens, not all the time, but sometimes it's because we're not taking enough steps to nurture the soil. And by that I mean the relationship. We get so focused on the system that we forget there's people living there, and there's people that own it, and there's people that care whether the hot air or hot water comes out. And so it's just today is all about how do we nurture so that we get good harvests.
Well, it's all about sowing and reaping, right?
Right on.
So I love to teach technicians that, like, don't run past that customer to make love to the air conditioner.
Oh my goodness, you
because
can't
we
do that.
love to go talk about the equipment.
It's easy.
But we got to talk to the customer.
Yeah, people are tricky. Systems can often be a lot easier to deal with. So what am I talking about? Well, the idea is that instead of just coming in, doing your hello, and then disappearing for 45 minutes, an hour, hour and a half, and then coming up with a bill for $200, $300, $400, $800, $1,200, and saying, hey, here's what I found, or some version of that, right?
Yeah.
And then the customer's like, well, we're going to think about it, and you're like, this doesn't work, I'm out. It's because we haven't tilled, nurtured, and really taken care of the weeds. So how do we do that? Well, I believe that on every call, there's multiple chances to make what I call a deposit into that rich soil. So yesterday we talked, you did a great job of the intro. So let's practice it. These
Okay.
would be typically the places that you could make these interactions, right? So
I'll be the homeowner.
all right, you be the homeowner.
Okay.
So and stop me if this looks familiar.
Hey.
Hi there. Thanks for having us on, Mr. Rollins. I'm Eddie with ABC Company. Is it okay where I parked?
Sure, it's parked okay.
Great. I'm here to take care of your air conditioning issue, and I have my notes from the office, but in your own words, you mind just sharing, right? And then we're going to go through this issue, and we're going to say, yep, that's important. We're going to say, naturally, you have questions. Obviously, I have questions. Typically, this is how we like to go. I'll be inside, outside, upside, downside, whatever the game plan is for that call. That's our first real deposit, and we got to stick the landing on this one because this is where we build on the call. And right before we go away, we're going to be, by the way, if I happen to see anything, this is us giving permission to then have that next interaction and be the professional that we need to be, right? And so that's one. And then what are some other times during a call? Like for HVAC, first off, you never have enough tools in your tool bag. So there's going to be multiple times that you go up to get something from your truck, your tool bag, your wrenches, whatever. Don't just blank the homeowner. Something as simple as a smile, a wave, an acknowledgement. You're a stranger in their home.
It might just be, hey, I'm going to go out to my van for just a moment. I'm going to be right back in. Hey, by the way, this is a really nice neighborhood. How are your neighbors?
Love it.
Just little
Love
things.
it.
I used to love to talk about their flowers or their garden or like a woodworking shop.
Oh, I love the woodworkers. Love the woodworkers. Hopefully they're in the middle of a project, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. At this age, I care more about lawns than I thought I would when I was a young guy. But like, I'm sincere. And by the way, this isn't manipulative. This isn't like, hey, I love your carpet. Is that shag? It's not that, right? Like, we're not doing that. That's bogus. This is sincere and genuine. One of the best things I like to do is, for example, HVAC guy, don't hold it against me, but we've got a filter. Quite often we'll put it in a bag so we don't take any of that debris through the home. As we're leaving, great opportunity to just pull it out of the bag and say, Mr. Rollins, just to let you know, here's the filter. And then you just say whatever it is about the filter. It's doing a great job. Hey, it doesn't seem to be catching much. Has anything changed from the system? Hey, just so you know, this is a filter. It's done a great job. It's pretty caked. And do you know anything about upgraded filtration systems that can help you breathe a little easier, help the system breathe a little easier, maybe last a little longer? Here's the key. If they say anything,
you go, great, I'll share more with you at the end. You don't go in and rush in and do any of that stuff. Let it breathe. Let it breathe, and then just come back. And throughout the call, there's probably time for 4 or 5 of that. Now, at the end of that call, when we come up and we're like, hey, man, now all of a sudden they're offering glasses of water and they're being nice, right?
At the end of the day, they want to know you. They want to like you.
Yep.
Right, and you do that by making sincere compliments, sincere conversation with them.
Yep.
I'm a dog person. I love to play with people's little dogs
Yipper.
and talk about their dogs and how smart their dogs are and how dumb one of my dogs is, right? And so,
Oh, Lord save us from dumb dogs. Here's the caveat to this. If you don't think you can do this sincerely, it's probably better to stay in the basement. But this is basic human stuff. See, where this all comes from, to unpack this a little, there's a gentleman called Stephen Covey, and he literally wrote the book. And what he talks about relationships being like bank accounts, right? And so the idea is, just like a bank account, you can make deposits and you can make withdrawals. Now, as a younger man, I had the pleasure of finding out what an overdraft was, right? Been there, done that, not pleasant. Well, I'm here to tell you that relationships can go into overdrive. You ever have someone you just meet and all of a sudden they're like, you're at that party or whatever and they're talking to you and like, it's like, this is weird. That's your internal meter telling you this is an overdraft. So what we do as professionals, we make sure that throughout a call, whether we're there for the day, an hour, we're going to make deposits so that if and when we need to make a relational deposit, maybe give some bad news, maybe talk about finances, maybe talk about, disruptions to water service, whatever the case may be, we're set up and we're not going to go into overdraft. Okay? Pretty straightforward, but pretty important stuff.
yeah, I was sharing earlier with Eddie that I have a pest control guy that comes to my home, and he's been coming for 4 or 5 years.
Right on.
Brian, hey Brian. And Brian's great, just had a baby. Him and his wife just had a baby, and we actually bought them a gift. And so when he
Nice.
came over to do our pest control, we had a baby gift for him. And so
Aw.
that's because he's made emotional deposits with
Yeah.
our family over those years.
Right, and you've got someone in there, he's dealing with chemicals, all kinds of who knows what. You want to trust that person, and trust doesn't show up alone. It shows up in a relationship. And so that's kind of what we're talking about. And if you're having any issues with results, if things aren't going the way you want in a call, chances are that you're not making these deposits. Now, I want to be really super clear. This isn't about Jedi mind tricks and telling them you've got a nice cat and all of a sudden you're driving a Rolls Royce. Not that. That is not this message. This is about being sincere. Put yourself in the customer's place. Like, who would they like to do business with? So last thing I'll say about harvesting and depositing. You ever show up at a call or go on a ride along and you walk in and you're like, hey, you guys still do those humidifiers? We're ready to get one. You guys still offer?
And you're like, yes.
I am
thank
that
you.
good.
I've been waiting. I'm so good. I just walked in and they're buying.
Other people need to do a system. I just need to show up, right? Now, maybe you are that good, and I don't want to burst anybody's bubble this morning, but chances are you're finally harvesting what is the fruit of years and years of trusted, valuable input by a partner. It's probably a colleague that has been going there and being consistent and saying the same thing. And then finally, when the customer's ready, because after all we do is share solutions. Discover facts, share solutions, and the customer chooses. They're ready, you walked in, and now you're ready to harvest. There's a complete difference because it's all about the customer. And we can't just go up and say, well, I talked to them about humidifiers. They're not interested. I get all the crap customers.
Hey, but that's reaping more than you sow.
Oh, man.
Isn't it when you get that great call that some of your teammates have set that up earlier and been fertilizing that soil and working that relationship and making those deposits?
I love
and then you get to have the withdrawal.
That's right. That's right. And I'm a big believer in giving without expectation. So you just give, just put enough good stuff out there. You can't control much in life, only your own actions. So we're gonna control what we do. We're gonna have a system, and we're gonna discover facts, share solutions, and the universe will take care of the rest, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
So really today, like what you want to do is make sure you're engaging that customer. If you're a plumber and you're underneath that house and you're looking at all the pipes, don't stay under there for 45 minutes and then tell them the bad news.
Right
You
on.
might want to just go check in. Hey, I got some pictures for you
right.
as I'm going, and I'm going to go out to my van. I'm going to check on
Any
a few
questions?
things, see if anything's under warranty.
Yep. So,
Making those deposits.
So let's talk about the task for the day. The task for the day is to make as many deposits as is appropriate before you share a solution. Can't stress that enough. This is all before we get into sharing solutions. We've got to earn the trust. And for some of you, you may have figured out that the emotional piggy bank is not just a work thing. So for extra credit, if you feel like it, I'm not a doctor, I don't play one on the internet, but if you would like to, why don't you check your emotional bank accounts at home and go ahead, make some deposits in those today as well. Because after all, at the Toolshed, we're here to make your job and maybe life just a little easier. So that's it.
Fantastic.
Make deposits. Okay, Jerry and I will be in the Facebook. We'll be talking about that poll. Bring your friends. Someone's going to get the rigid tubing cutter. And if you haven't, feel free to sign up to our Schedule Engine YouTube site. Come back tomorrow. Hundreds of people just like you learning to make their job just a little bit easier here at the Schedule Engine Toolshed. And Jerry, take it away.
Hey, be good so you can do good out there. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Go crush it today.
Crush it!